Hey performance golfers, Matt Walter here, the Vanderbilt Legends Club. Today, I'm going to show you how to exit left, okay? And that's not going to be rope hooked with the cane off the stage. I'm talking about how you're going to get your golf club around your body to develop a great impact position. So, here's what you need to know. The face-on view when we're hitting is sometimes deceiving in the sense of how we create shaft lean. Typically, where I see players shank it and they really get way off base, is that they think that the shaft lean comes from a linear push with their hands to develop that look. So they look at it on video and they're like, oh, my hands should be forward. I've turned my body, but the problem is their hands are too far away from their body, and if they train pushing their hands up towards the target line, you're more than likely going to shank it. Because what you're learning how to do is create a linear move to create shaft lean, and that presents the hosel. So let me make my case there, Judge. So what you'll do is I want you to set up to the alignment stick, and I want you to look at this real quick. So you're going to go just inside the alignment stick. And if I get the club back down to shaft parallel, so let's say I made a full swing, I've come back down to here, and I let my hands continue towards the target, you can see how the club face actually works out to the right. It's also open, so I could twist my hands, but it doesn't stop the fact that my club is working its way out to the golf ball, presenting itself into the hosel. Well, if you've ever hit a shank, you know how this goes. Now watch this. Scoot down a little bit. If I get to that same spot and I feel like my left hand moves closer to my left pocket, the club doesn't work out and it squares itself up a lot easier than if I try and push my hands forward. The club face is open and it's working its way out to the right. So what we have to remember is the exit left. Now, the first question out of this gate is, hey pro, doesn't that mean I'm going to be coming over the top? Wrong. If you remember, the golf club's traveling on a plane, or many planes, but for the most part it's traveling around that circle. It goes back out to the ball, and then it should go back again. The problem is too many people try and go back, and then they go out to the ball, and then they try and keep going up towards the target. If you watch any of the modern era golfers who are on the top of the FedEx points or the tour, you will see that they don't exit up the line with their hands. What you see is their hands go in. Now, here's where it gets slightly difficult for the average Joe. So we may not have enough hip rotation to carry all of that shaft lean around our body. So if we had to imagine my hips are here, I have to create space with my hips in order to have room for my hands to exit. If my hips can't turn and they stop right here, well, there's not much room for an exit plan. So I have to release the club face a little bit. So what we can do is a couple different things. We can set up to produce more rotation at the right time. So a couple ways we can do that is I can set my left foot back some, so I have like a Sergio Garcia-esque open stance. That will let me pull my left hip back. I also have the ability to flare my left foot open. If I flare my left foot open, it delays when my leg straightens out and allows for more turn. So if you have a hard time turning, set your left foot back, point it to the target. Again, this is just a drill. And if you need to do it at real speed, you can do it at real speed. And then try and feel your hands disappear close to your hip as you swing through. So you're going to set up, hands close to the hip, and feel that drag around your body. Now, let's say you can turn. You don't need the little setup hacks. Another way to get the feel you can take your alignment stick, place it under the grip. You may have seen rib breaker before, but I call it the rib breaker. And what you want to do is get the ability to go around your body, hitting these shots without whapping yourself with the back end. So I don't recommend full swings. Recommend half baby-like swings. And again, you feel those hands work. You feel those hands work around your body. Again, the rib breaker brings out the worst in people sometimes because they're trying to avoid hitting themselves. So what do? They push their hands down the line. Now, what have they learned? They've learned how to get their hands in front of the ball before the club head gets there. The problem is they learned how to do it the wrong way, but they're learning. So now they've hit a couple shanks and blocks because they've done this. We take them and tell them to get their hands close to their body as they turn their chest, as they turn their hips, and all of a sudden they still have that same shaft lean, but the contact gets better. So again, the key important variable here is that when you start coming down, you're trying to hide those hands from the camera while the club head is staying out. And you hit these nice, soft little pit shots. So then, once you're comfortable with it, you can then start to get into a more full light golf swing and really feel from here, about shaft parallel in the downswing, your hands start to go around your body and produce a lot more consistent, stable, shaft leaning impact. So I hope this drill and this explanation of how to create shaft lean enlightens you on how you can now produce a tour-like impact when it matters the most at the ball. If you like this video, please subscribe. Send me your comments, your questions, your concerns. Be glad to answer them. I'll be the one hopping on there, answering any questions you may have. So that's your chance to interact with me. Until then, I'll catch you later, golfers.